ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast, The Gentleman's Weekly, here with Rob Smallwood. And you got to say it.
And Keith Johnson. But
Thank you.
why'd you have to come on so sauced up,
Hey,
bro?
that was. I just
That's
tried to mix
unnecessary,
it up.
dog.
It has to be a smooth entry point.
It's smooth, but you didn't have to come in here all like we're not.
This is how I'm feeling.
It's not
man.
a panty dropping episode, dog.
I have a. I'm in a wonderful space.
My man fell in love and acting goofy now,
Yeah,
bro. Tell me about it. Let's talk about love from a. I don't want to say from a man's perspective because that sounds gross, but
Yeah.
the gentlemanly way to talk about love and how it affects you and what it changes when you first embracing it, and how you're feeling about it now.
You know, I was at a point in my life where I would like literally like a week ago. Literally like 72 hours ago.
My brother be falling so hard, bro.
I was at an inflection point. And basically what ends up happening is you realize you have been living below your standards and expectations.
Okay.
And then someone just sweeps you off your feet. And then what was once intolerable is now tolerable with the right person.
Right.
And, you know, do I love love? Yeah, I love love, but falling in love is the fun part because you're falling. It's like you're just, you know.
I describe falling in love, that moment, you know, when you get on an airplane and the fasten your seatbelt sign comes on and then you got to take a shit. That's
it's
what
scary
love,
to you.
That's
right?
what love is.
That's
to
funny.
me. That's exactly what it is to me. It's that feeling that can't be quantified at any other moment. Maybe on a roller coaster, but
Right.
roller coasters like over in 30 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Flights are hours, right? And that's what the longevity of that fall. That's what it feels like. You have no control over it. You have to. It's literally you surrendering.
Yeah, you have to surrender. You have to really let go because it's not going to work otherwise.
No. And if you don't surrender, it'll fold you.
Yeah.
It'll fold you quick.
And
then you'll be left there like, what? Why did I even do this?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's been so many times where I'm just like, oh, I'm with people I just don't like.
Yeah.
Or I have to do the work for, and it's like, ugh.
I will say that's the worst part about being in an unhealthy relationship is being with somebody you love but you don't like. No one talks about that.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Though.
That's a lot of people. You can be with somebody you don't like but love them and want the best for them.
Yeah, and that's when you have to make very difficult decisions, or if you feel it, you have to pull back and then make the decision for yourself. Like, hey, I don't want to be in this situation. A lot of people aren't self-aware enough to do that or to realize that that's what they're doing, or they are doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've been guilty of that. Like, just not necessarily using people, but opening people up that I shouldn't have opened up. But then again, when I think back, I tell the people. I shouldn't say people because it makes it seem like it's men and women.
This nigga,
it's whoever, nigga. It's people,
like,
nigga.
It's sex is fluid.
Opening women up in ways, but then I think back, like I be telling them my red flags. I'm like, hey, this is where I'm at. Like with every relationship or every person that I talk to situation, I always tell them exactly where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like I remember I put emotionally unavailable in one girl's phone. Keith Johnson, emotionally unavailable. Here's my number. Still texting me. You know what I mean? Like you could literally put the red flag right there. They're going to try to get what they want from you.
Oh, for sure.
But if you have two people who are willing, and that doesn't mean you're not going to have fear going through that process. Sometimes, like what I realize is some people have like life hangups or life walls. Mine were like, I thought I had like walls up. but I had fake walls. They look like fake. They look like a wall,
Those
but they're
cartoon walls,
yeah,
with the acne
yeah.
sign.
And you just walk in, and then the other person tries to walk in, and it's a
It's a
real
wrong
wall.
wall.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, the right person you have you walking through the right wall, man. Here, here's the issue though, bro. Like, I feel like, and we talked about this in other episodes.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm in, I'm on the brink of looking at other accessible women. You know what I mean? Like Eric Andre's dating Emily Ratajkowski
And
now.
it's so funny you bring that up, because that is that's the crux. When you get to our age and you start dating, you're no longer dating for the fun of dating. You're now dating because you're trying to date with a purpose. And right when you make that slight decision, it seems like another door opens up to another batch of women that you didn't have access to
Yeah.
before. And it's because you're like, your mind is heightened. So
Mhm.
everything you do follows suit, right? And now women that weren't attracted to you before are attracted to you now.
Sliding.
And now you have to make a decision.
It's tough. It's like when you go on a diet, you're like, all right, and then you go to work and then they throw a pizza party. You're like,
What am I going to do,
man,
right?
You got to have a slice of pizza.
So it's just like, that's it. It is true, but that's the hard part. Is
Yeah.
like, now you making that decision. It's like, you don't know until you know,
Yeah.
like you could go on the path you're going with to the person that opened you up to get to this level, and then it could fall apart. But does that mean that access that you had to these new batch of lifestyles and women, does that go away? Are you always open to it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you come back? Can you double back later?
I think it's like it's a series of choices you just can't make. You have to say the straight and narrow, because if you make one choice, then it's a domino effect. It's a slippery slope.
It's a very slippery slope. I struggle with that. I think I find myself, when I get into relationships, first off, it takes a long time for me to, okay, you're my girlfriend.
To even like you.
It does. It takes a long time for me to even like open up that avenue. It's like, who's this girl? Oh, she's just around. I've brought countless women around, and you've just been like, what's going on? And be like, she's just here.
To be able to introduce a girl to your friends, it means like that's a big step. And then of course the family and so on and so forth. But like, yeah, there's a lot of people didn't make the cut.
It's a tough life, especially, and I don't want to be one of those dudes or people that's like, dating in LA is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because out of all the other cities, like New York's you can be lonely in New York, but you won't be lonely in New York, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because when you walk out on the street, there's 2,000 other people that are in your way, right? Here, you could be lonely.
LA's a lonely ass place.
It's a lonely city. And like, if you're not getting invited to the parties, if you're not invited to like go out and party to bars and stuff like that, you're sitting at home playing video, that shit gets lonely.
Yeah.
So then you're left to like dating apps. And
you be on the dating apps?
I was.
Okay.
I was on dating apps heavy. But that's because I'm a wordsmith. I'm a comic.
Yeah.
So I can make you laugh. I can like take the conversation one way and then zigzag the other way.
Yeah.
I can have fun on it.
Yeah.
Whereas like in person, the only time you're seeing me in person is like, I'm out with my friends at a bar, right? Anytime we went out, or at a show.
Yeah.
And at a show, I want to be left alone like afterwards.
Right.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
See, that's the thing too. Like I'm very particular about like who comes to watch me do comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care. I was
really?
Like, yeah, pull up.
Nah, so what I was doing is I was matching with girls and be like, you're a comedian? I'm like, yeah, come to this show. That was my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was closing at the end of the night because I knew if a girl came,
your element,
I had to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
you ever bomb and get pussy?
No. I make sure if any woman comes out to see me that it's gonna be.
You can't control it when there's a bomb your way. There's a bomb your way.
I make sure like whatever show it is, I already know the setup. I know that they're gonna have a good crowd, right? Like I'm very comedy is where I have control. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I've gone up, especially as of recently, I've gone up and like, this is probably gonna go well.
Gotcha.
Right? But you are right. There are nights.
I've been doing so well. I know I'm going to bomb soon, and I know it's going to be in front of people.
You think it's gonna be like in front of like
It's gonna
somebody
be a
important?
bad bomb. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I've just been doing great. I'm looking for what's looking for me, and there's a bomb coming.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna eat it. It's whatever, but
I feel like the energy we walked into 2023. I don't want to ruin this, but I have to say it. I feel like this is the year. You just have a year where like shit is just
lined up
and perfect. That's what this year feels like, which is why I don't believe.
Gotcha.
That.
See, but I don't think a bomb to me it's fun sometimes.
Bombs are fun and they help you grow.
Uh-huh.
But I don't something is different.
Okay.
Something just
see no, I you know what, I'm gonna double and say I agree with you. I don't feel like I'm gonna bomb. I know it's gonna come.
Right.
But like I'm in a pretty like in the bag.
You see what I'm talking? Yes,
yeah, you're right.
So that's why I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe next year. Maybe next year's full of half and half. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But things are different.
Yeah, I do feel like I have a little more control.
See?
This year.
Right.
What was the worst bomb you had?
Oh shit. All right. Back in Baltimore.
This is Baltimore. Yeah, you haven't had a
I haven't had a bad bomb in Los Angeles since I've been here.
Wow.
I bombed.
Yeah, but not like
where I'm like, yo, I should quit comedy.
Gotcha.
This was I should quit comedy.
Okay.
It was a Baltimore All-Stars competition or whatever. By the way, if you are watching our podcast or listening and you're thinking about doing like comedy, don't do competitions.
Don't do comedy at all.
Don't do comedy at all. But there are going to be somebody that's like, fuck you, I could do it. Don't do competitions.
They're rigged.
The club is not like, you're not going to get anything out of it. The club is just doing that so they can make money on a slow night. I was doing a competition and it was the night that Godfrey was there. Mm-hmm. Black Godfrey, African, Nigerian Godfrey.
He's a killer. There's only one Godfrey. Oh, the other one.
He's dead. Yeah. But
now there's only one Godfrey.
Wow. And this was like, I had been doing shows for a while at this point, and they weren't like, I wasn't great. Mm-hmm. Like this was like 2 years in, but I was getting stage time. And I did this comedy show at the Baltimore Laugh Factory or Comedy Factory, and my family came for the first time. Ooh, this shit was rough. Like I wanted to cry. Like I did a horrible joke about being so short that when you're short, you're just struggling to reach shit. And I did an act out. You ever do an act out and it doesn't go anywhere? You just acting out in silence.
Yeah, it
was bad. It was one of those. I didn't even get a sympathy laugh from my family.
Wow.
And it was like all black people. It was rough.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
So it took me 2 weeks to get back on stage after that. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of me just being like, I'm a normal ass dude. Stop all this. You gonna do something with you work.
You're just gonna live life.
You're just gonna live life.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Be regular for a little bit.
And at the time, I had a girl that was interested enough in me that was like, we should get out of Baltimore and let's go down to DC or Virginia. And we went down to Virginia, and there's this mic where only 30 people can sign up. Okay. And what they do is, it's not like first come, first serve. They literally question you. How long you been doing comedy? Where are you from? So I was from Baltimore. It was like maybe an hour drive. They were like, all right, we're going to give you 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And those 2 minutes, I fucking crushed. And not like, it was crushed for that back then, for what I was back then. And then they were like, come back next week. And then I got 3 minutes. And then it went to 5. And then it went to 8. And then it was after that, I was like, okay, I can do this.
You
And
got realigned.
I got
A
realigned.
bomb will
Started going.
realign
It
you.
will. It will. It really will.
Yeah.
And that was my first time like realizing like, oh, this is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So what was your worst bomb?
Worse?
Worse.
At the Comedy Store, I used to get these development spots opening up for Crack 'em Up.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Crack 'em Up. It's a predominantly black show.
Mm-hmm.
And the show runs it. It's like one of the longest running shows at the Comedy Store that's, pro-black, if you will. Like
Right.
and so she had always kept tabs on me and like looked out for me with opportunities or whatever. So whenever I got development spots, she'd let me like run extra. So
Mhm.
like I'd be the one of two door people there, or not door people, but one of two development spots, but everyone else hated it. It
Yeah.
was like, when like white boys would come up, they would like try to duck and dodge or swap spots.
Yeah.
So every Thursday, literally Adam would only give me Crack 'em Up Thursdays. And I was like, bro, it's kind of racist at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
But I ate them, and the show would give me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. So it wouldn't be great, but I would like find it through that 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So one day she's like, hey, run it, Rel's not here yet. I'm like, okay, cool. And like everyone starts packing in, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good one. People are here.
Mhm.
So I'm up 3 minutes. Not good. I'm like, okay, let me reset. Just and then I like did next 3, through some like heavy hitters. Nothing. I was just like whiffing. Just now I blew my load of like the first like 7-8 minutes of like all my jokes. So now it's out of order, and I have no like haymakers. So now I just have like these little, jab, punch jokes, just boop, 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 nothing. Just so Rel's 25 minutes late. I'm up there for 25 minutes. No one, like, Michelle's just in the back, like, just, I don't care. Just, you're there. I'm like looking at everyone, like Crack 'em Up. That's where all the black comics come and like size people up.
Yeah.
There's a whole audience or a whole wall of comics just being like, this nigga is trash, bro. I could feel it. And then Jack walks in because Jack's on the show later.
Yeah.
And I look up, I'm like, what's up, Jack? He's like, nigga, do not talk to me with that bombing ass energy. He checks in with the DJ or whatever, and then he leaves. Because I was expecting him to bail me out a little.
Yeah.
Riff with me, get me out of it. That nigga left me for another 10 minutes, and then Rel Battle comes on. He just kind of interrupts me. All right, guys, I'm in. And I'm like, all right. That was
fuck.
I had that one like pierced my soul in a very painful way. I couldn't like. It took me a while to do Crack 'em Up again, like just natural order of things. But then maybe like 4 weeks later, I finally got another development spot, and it was me and Chappelle Lacey, and Chappelle was like, "Oh, you want me to go first?" And I was like, "Nah, let me go first. Like I need to like redeem myself." And I like caught a body opening it up.
Good.
I was like, good. But then, like maybe a year later, Alex Hanna came up to me, and he's a door guy at the Comedy Store, and he's like, "Oh, I got the Keith spot today." And I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "The Crack 'em Up spot." He was like, "I know that you're the only person that really does that spot." And he was like, "That shit's hard." And I was like, I feel like I earned my respect a little bit through those spots. And I was like, all right,
that's good.
So now I don't really do those spots anymore. Like I don't do Crack 'em Up anymore. I'm like, yeah, I graduated.
Yeah.
So
now here's the ultimate question. When you find yourself in a relationship, because I know it does for me, like sometimes it opens me up, sometimes it closes me down, depending on who I'm with. Does the person you are with or entertaining affect your comedy? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse?
Man, I was like right now, the space I'm in, it's making it better. Like I'm more myself. I'm more silly. And it's just based on the energy. Like my disposition is better. I think that's what I had to be mindful of. Like a couple of things. Like there's certain people who I like dated where I would tell them things and then they'd almost like slide it down, like, oh, I got this thing coming up, and they'd be happy for you, but not
Be
really.
happy, right?
Or you're about to have a good day, and all of a sudden you're in an argument, and you're
Yeah.
like, I know it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm in a good space. Dope shit's about to happen. What the fuck is happening with you? Now
Right.
you're gonna like swerve into my lane and kind of fuck me up a little
Right.
bit. But with the right person, I feel like it enhances your best qualities.
Yeah.
And then you have a person to do the work with, or alongside with. So your worst qualities are being worked on.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to find a partner who's self-aware to do that.
Yeah. For me, because since I've done comedy, I've been in, let's 2 real relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And one, was outside, like they weren't a comic, they had nothing to do with entertainment.
Right.
And when you date somebody like that doesn't understand that sometimes you got to drive 4 hours to go and do a 10-minute spot. Sometimes you got to drive an hour just to do 3 minutes.
Right.
Like they don't get it.
No.
And then it turns to like, well, are you doing this because you don't want to be with me? Or are you doing this because you're choosing something over me? And it turns to either or.
Yeah.
And when you have somebody like that, that kind of, for me anyway, that drained my creativity, because I wasn't able to write from a creative and happy place. I was writing from a place of contempt.
Yeah.
Right? Which I wasn't able to go in depth. I wasn't able to like pull things apart, figure out how I was feeling about a subject or anything like that. But then when you find somebody that is elated to just see you be yourself and your best self, doesn't matter in what form or fashion it is, they're just happy to be there and witness it. That makes you want to like be joyful in what you're doing. Even if the jokes are dark, they're allowing you to explore that space.
Yeah.
That feels good. And I will say this is the first time I've been in a relationship where it's like, I actually have somebody that's like rooting for me.
Yeah.
Right. And because she understands the industry and is a little bit of a comic herself, she I won't say a little bit, she is a comic. But that didn't come out right. We'll keep that because it's funny, but also anyway.
She does a little bit of comedy. She'll make me laugh every once in a while.
That shit was rude. Yeah. I didn't even mean it. Anyway, but she it's fun because it almost feels, I'm not gonna say competitive. It's not competitive in nature, but it feels like when she's doing something creative, I want to do something creative. Right. And it's like, I don't want to hold her back from opening up her space. Right. So it makes me want to be better in my space. Right. So I enjoy that. I think I enjoy having a partner that is in the same space as me.
When like two people within the same field work together right and it's done correctly, it could be great. Right. I think the issue is sometimes, because you said it's competitive, but it's not necessarily because you want to be better than that person. Yeah. It's because your cycles are off. Right. So like, I know I'm a summer, like when it's wintertime, I'm like chilling, right? Yes. But summer. That's my season. Yeah. If your summer isn't like pop off time, then you're gonna have to sit back and watch me sauce for 4 months. Right. You know, and then when it's your time, you know, I'm gonna do the same. Yeah. But I had to learn how to be mindful of that. You know, when you fuck around with comics. But yeah, it's it's tough. I'm learning. I think another thing I'm trying to figure out, you know, because my birthday's coming up, and I'm trying to figure out what this will be. Last relationship I had, you never met her. No. And when we would go out, she never came. Yeah. I'm comfortable with this partner enough, obviously, to bring her around and go do stuff. Right. I'm interested to see what that energy looks like with all my friends and us partying together. As warmer weather gets warmer. I think you'll be fine. I think so too. Yeah. But you call it famous people energy. Yeah, when you turn up last year when we came, was it your birthday party? Yeah. Damn, time's flying. It really is. God damn. It is. That's another thing. Time slows down, bro. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, nigga, that shit. Days are long, bro. Yeah, it's great. Days are long. and that's I think that's intentional. Like when you're alone, shit be just flying by.
Yeah, and
It's
you just be like, why am I'm missing out on so much.
yeah. And then when you're partnered up, it's like,
Yeah.
man, we could just be chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we saw you at the bar and people try being married. I don't know if I could be married yet, but
I don't even want to
I
think
want
about that.
to.
I want it, but I need to slowly let myself get there.
Yeah. I don't know what I think that, I mean, I knew you had it in you, obviously. Like, it's very rare you see somebody's like it factor just beaming outside of like what we do. And when I saw you walking, I was like, you have P. Diddy energy. I was like, holy shit. Like, I've seen, because I've seen P. Diddy in a party and it just like people kind of stop and watch him.
Yeah. When
I saw you, the funny thing is like, Diddy was taller than most people.
Yeah.
But like, so I didn't know what was happening, but everyone was stopping and then like looking, and then then you came out and you're like, hey, and you're like fucking blacked out drunk. But you had like girls buying you drinks.
Yeah, that was
one girl tried to fight someone that we were with, and then I was like, bro, like, and she didn't even know you. She was just trying to be close to you. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is happening right now? I was like, bro, you had famous nigga energy. And I was like, okay, I finally saw like the it factor, like on, like you were just walking around Super Saiyan. And I was like, that makes sense.
So that's what I'm worried about. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that, she hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just stuff like when we go out, that's how we are. That is what I'm wondering. Can she keep up? Will she have her own?
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Will she feel insecure? Will that make her feel insecure? LA, I will say, between East Coast cities and West Coast cities, specifically LA, when you got it, you got it. When your crew has it, you guys got it. When we all go out, we all got it.
Yeah, we're on.
New York, you can just be an extra.
Yeah.
And that's
you got to, LA is like, and that's why I don't like going out, because it's like you need a lot of money to be seen, and you have to be on. Like I have to like almost like turn like here we go. You gotta get amped up. Yeah, and I'm like,
you gotta get amped up just to be cool.
Yeah,
which is wild.
I just want sometimes. Yeah, I do like that, like East Coast feel where you could just be and you're cool, but
exactly.
Like, you got to turn up.
Yeah,
and come on, and like right before you enter the door, you here we go. And just,
it's exhausting.
Yeah,
it is exhausting.
I had this moment. We went out for drinks, and we sat down. There's another couple, and I'm walking, and the girl stops me with her boyfriend. She's like, "Oh my God, you're a comedian, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "I was at one of your shows." She was like, "I literally have videos of you in my phone. You're so funny." And she's like, she's giving it to me hard. She's like, "Oh my God, you were the best one on the show." And da da da. And I was like, hell yeah.
And then you gotta watch her normal ass boyfriend be like, huh.
Yeah. And then her dog kept running up to me because I had good energy. Kept leaving her boyfriend and coming up to me to come like nestle up next to me. And I was like,
that's what he's gotta watch that.
I got your fucking dog and your girl, bro.
He's gotta watch that energy. He's gotta sit there and be like, this is what it looks like without me. I need to step up.
Yeah.
You help that relationship flourish.
Hopefully, because I made sure like, hey man, I'm with me. I'm on me right now. Right. You know what I mean? I'm on me time. But like, it is, you should be concerned, right? Because like every girl could get finessed. It's just a matter of who could finesse her.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, the right guy could come up and just. And I knew what it was. Is she looked mixed like me. She's like little. Maybe Filipino, not necessarily black, but like when she saw me, she was like, I like that guy because he looks like
the guy. Was the guy white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey man, I genuinely believe like, it's that Kanye line. There's 1,000 users, only one of me. Like I believe that line. Like
that's a true line.
Everyone I leave or everyone I like step away from, I'm like, look, man, I want you to find somebody better.
But good luck.
More than likely, you're not.
Man, there are girls that I purposely don't delete or block just so it's like a reminder.
Yeah.
Like it's a reminder. Like this.
You're not gonna get better.
It's not.
You're gonna have to settle. There's two girls that I dated who I like knew who liked them, and we both agreed that person was like the lesser version of me. Like it was the Digimon version of me.
Your Pokemon and
yeah,
Digimon.
I was like, if you want to go Digimon, go be Digimon.
But nobody watched Digimon.
No.
How many episodes did Digimon or seasons did Digimon have?
I don't know.
Exactly. Pokemon's been on forever.
Yeah. And both of them got with their Digimon niggas, and I was like, hey man, and both one of them didn't. Actually, the Playmo. Both of them circled back at one point in time, and I was like, I don't want you. Like you can't go from Digimon back to Pokemon. Can I tell you
what? With a huge turn off for me is if somebody comes back after they've left, they chose to leave, and they come back and say, "You're my person."
Yeah.
You're my person, and I made a mistake.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Sleep in that.
Yeah.
I need you to roll around in that.
Yeah.
All the shit that I had said. I feel like that's the biggest thing right now, is now that I have a new girlfriend, to me, it's not that oh, I was great and somebody saw it. It's, I won my last breakup.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. That's toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's funny and it's true.
Yeah.
It's like, it didn't take that long for somebody to come along and be like, oh no, you're dope.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time. And it's I was talking to Garrick about that yesterday. I was like, I've never met another Garrick. I never met another you. I never met another me. And it's just like, yeah, that's it.
That's
you could. There's going to be people who emulate you or try to sauce it's like no.
What I think is common, and did your parents when you were growing up tell you to just be yourself?
A little bit, yeah.
But
they made me they enhanced me in certain ways. Where they'd make me do certain shit that I didn't understand until I was older.
That's what I went through. So I was always weird. I was a weird kid. And I used to get picked on when I was smaller. And then as I got bigger and started fighting back and stuff like that, I still would have the mental anguish of it. And my parents would just be like, you're different. You're just different.
Yeah.
I don't know, look back, I don't know if they were just trying to tell me, we think you're gay, but they were just being
Did your parents think you were gay for a little bit of
time?
time?
I don't think they did, but I think they did see that I was, I hate you.
Nah,
I think they could see that I was always on the outside. And it wasn't I wasn't upset, but I felt weird and different in spaces. And I remember my mom being very clear, you are trying to fit into something that's not built for you. You are trying to be part of something that is literally built to keep you out.
Right.
Why not just be different?
Yeah.
Because wherever you end up is going to feel so much better at the end when everybody gravitates to you.
Yeah.
And that is how I've lived my life.
And
I feel like anybody that's in my circle, our friends included, they've all had that one person that's been like, yo, just keep being you. If you're weird, be weird.
Yeah. Weird is looked at as a bad word, but it really shouldn't. It should be the thing you are trying to be. Be weird. And I think that's what makes me able to unscrew the shells of the women I talk to. Is because I'm just weird. Yeah. It's I'm gonna do weird shit around you.
Right.
I'm gonna grab your little underarm skin and shit like that. Yeah, dog.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm gonna circle back. My dad thought I was gay for a second. Cause
really?
Yeah. You know, you ever listen to Tyler the Creator freestyle on Sway and shit? He'll fuck around and rap gay. So in high school, me and my homie Mike used to gay rap. I don't know why I'm telling this story, but we used to be I'm an asshole come through with my boxers backwards so that, the holes in the back, like we'd
Yeah.
have bars like that.
Yes.
And so we got really good at that. Like we got so good where we were like, oh, we need to make a mixtape. So he made like one song, but like I have like an addictive personality when I'm
Yes.
creative. So I'm just like, I just made like 6 songs.
Yeah.
I made a whole little EP and I put it on my iPod and like I'd play it with my friends and they like it had like a normal beat and then I'd come on and then it'd be me rapping and then you hear the punchline and you're like, what the fuck is he saying? And then I'd like that would be the bit. And so I just like, I had it on my iPod and then I just like forgot about it. And then eventually I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, let me get that iPod so I could go to the gym. And he never liked to listen to, like, he listens to like neo soul, like Erykah Badu. And he always do. I listen to like real rap, like just like real loud rap and whatever. Yeah. And so he uses that music to work out. And so he's working out one day and that track comes on. And, my dad's like he's an older like black dude from the military. Don't ask, don't tell ass nigga. You know what I mean? I remember I'm in college. I'm in like my senior year, so like this is like years past. I forgot all about it. I'm just chilling, and he emails me. He's like, "You got something to tell me?" And then he sends me the mixtape.
That's such a man thing. He can't call you. He had to send you an email.
But you can't email at work because like if you're emailing from like the Pentagon, you have a classified email, so you have to get requests to have unclassified emails.
Right.
So he had to go get an unclassified email to ask me what the fuck was going on.
That's toxic masculinity right there. That is so fucking funny. That is.
Bro, but that was the fun. And I called him immediately. I was like, "You listened to it?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Was it good?" He's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Hey man, we just be making fun of shit sometimes." But I think deep down he thinks I am.
That's wild.
But the bars were good, bro.
Just gay as shit.
It was just real gay. Like then once I saw Tyler do it, I was like, bro, if we would have got good at this shit, dog, I could have been Tyler the Creator. Like that was the moment for me to like lean into that shit. But here we are, man.
Favorite love song.
This is what's happening. Every love song, the lyrics are exactly what I'm like living in the moment. I'm like, man, is every song about us? Bro, it's just the colors are bright, man. I'm feeling good. I'm on some Snow Allegra.
Okay.
On the way up here, for real this time. I was listening to Tyler. There's a lot, man. There's a lot of songs I've just been bumping.
Mine are Candy Rain.
Oh, you're going old school.
Wow. Yeah. So Candy Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Bound to.
Okay. When the real niggas hold you down, you supposed to drown.
God. That's a
bar right there.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Ari Lennox and J. Cole, Shea Butter.
Yeah.
A-Marie.
Yeah.
Why Don't We? But the Ludacris version, which is very hard to track down.
Yeah.
Very hard. But that one, A-Marie by herself was great, but the Ludacris version goes hard.
I've been listening to a lot of Miguel.
Sometimes he'll teeter me back into like a breakup into an old fling. So I gotta.
You gotta chill.
I gotta chill on Miguel.
I'll do some Frank Ocean.
I was about to say Frank. Pink Matter.
Pink Matter. Okay.
Pink Matter is like where it's at. Or
see, that's my breakup song because there's a line. There's a line where he's like, Andre's like, she'd be better off with a regular guy. And I think that a lot with a lot of the girls that I date where I'm like, you need a regular guy. You can't have somebody like women date out of their league a lot.
They
and
do.
They don't realize that.
No.
You know what I mean? It's
they
like,
try to form it to them, not realizing that they actually don't have control.
We had an episode where we were like, not talking about women, but being in love. And we're like, now we're back to criticizing women. This is what it really is. This is all women's fault.
Yeah.
It takes us this long.
I mean, it takes a woman that's just like, I see you for who you are, and I want to be a part of that, versus I see what you're trying to do, but I can make it better.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's really the issue. I was on TikTok, of all places. I hate that I'm shouting out TikTok, but there's this woman that was saying that like some man she was with, they broke up, he got married. Years later, he reached out and said, you were the one that got away. And she was like, what are you talking about? You're married? And he was like, I just wasn't ready. And I think as for men, when it comes to like taking the next step or whatever, it's not necessarily about like falling in love, although that is a component to it. It's more about right place, right time.
Yes.
And if you are the woman that is patient enough to, and I'm not saying like stick around for 20 years, but if you're patient enough to let a man go through his own growth process and you're not forcing him, you're not like, let's go to couples therapy. Let's argue about this. If you're seeing that like, okay, he's an entrepreneur and he has this product he's getting off the line and he's working, don't then cut into that and be like, oh, you're spending all this time on this product and you're not spending it on me. Therefore, you're making it against like it's either me or it's that.
Right.
Where actually it's really both. And I feel like a woman that understands all of you will see that you work this hard so you can provide the life that you see us living. Right. And I think a woman that waits around for that to see that blossom, that's the woman that's in the right place, right time.
Right. It also the intention, like my intention was more instinctual.
Exactly.
Than like you could be like, okay, the next person that I'm going to be with, I'm going to be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
It's not going to work that way. For me, it was just like an instinctual, like, no, this, like, because I literally went in with my guard, like, being like, nah, I'm good. I have what I have. I'm cool. I'm chilling.
Right.
And then I was like, nope, all of these people are going. I'm going this way now.
Yeah.
And so, also what I was thinking too is how you start off in a relationship. There's girls who like, we start off fucking. It's the Patrice joke. You start off as a 2 a.m. bitch, and then you work your way up to the daytime. But the issue with that is it's hard to get out of the night shift.
Yes.
It's like there's girls who I genuinely care for and liked, but because we started off fucking, I don't take you seriously.
Oh my God. That's how I was.
Yeah.
If I was like, yo, let's hang out, and it was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we went and got drunk, and then we fucked, we will never be in a relationship. No. It'll never happen. Now, if we hung out and you were like, I like you, I don't want to do this, that made me into you more.
Yeah.
Because that meant like you cared enough about the growth of our path and our relationship that you were willing to withhold sex.
Yeah.
And that made me respect you and want to be with you.
Yeah. There's another end of, on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's women who are like, oh, I'm not having sex first date. I need this. Are you like? And then I'm like, nah, I'm good. So there's finding that balance of like, wanting to have sex, not having sex, and then just like walking that like straight and narrow line to the point where you're like, oh, I'm all in, and then you go from there.
Because there's a nuance. The reason they don't want to have sex isn't because they're saving themselves from marriage or anything like that, but because they see you. Not see like you're a dirtbag or you're just another guy. They see you and they're like, oh, this is something I want around.
Yeah.
And when they're able to express that vocally, you're somebody I want around, you're somebody I want to invest in, that makes me feel seen as an individual. That makes me feel like, oh, you're actually here for me.
Yeah.
And not for me to fill a spot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women, like when you go on dates, you're just filling a seat.
Yeah.
You're filling the seat that's across for them to make them feel good of where they are.
Yep.
So they have somebody to like, hey, I'm with this guy, I'm talking to this dude, whatever. Versus like, no, there's this person I met that makes me feel great.
Yeah. and I have to get my shit together,
Mm-hmm.
and or I have to be the best version of myself. And then after that, then you could delayer and then
Exactly.
do
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, that I've tried to transition people, even if it's like a friend first, like I've been friend zoned, and then you try to transition over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's when you realize like, okay, I can't fuck everybody that I'm supposed to like
Right.
be friends with, but also like, yeah, it almost just has to fit like perfectly,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just there's so many like factors in how it worked out. You're like, oh, okay, this is different, but it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
the things make sense. With the
That's
other relationships, it's like, okay, if I could tweak this will this will work, this will work, this will work. But like it's just too much work.
that's an important thing you brought up about like being friend zone and then working yourself out of that. I'm telling dudes out there right now,
Just eat the L, bro.
eat the L. Don't look at the friend zone as like you need to get out of it and you're waiting around. Do not wait around. Move on.
Get out.
I'm telling you right now, if you're one of those dudes that's waiting around and then like you guys get drunk and then it turns into like a friendly fuck or whatever, it will ruin everything.
Yeah.
It will, because in your mind, what you built it up to be, it will never live up to that. And what ends up happening is that now your friendship's ruined. She's not the girl you thought she was. And everything you know from the outside looking in on how she dealt with those relationships, you're now wondering why she's not doing that with you. So you're comparing all her other dudes, all the other dicks she's seen to you, and it's not going to make anything easier. Leave that bitch alone. Y'all are just friends.
It's chemical. Like
it is definitely chemical.
She already chose, bro. And
Yeah.
it's like she didn't choose, so you got to let it happen. Now there's some circumstances where you choose and then the circumstances don't work out, whatever, and then you have to like put a pin in it. But like if you shot your shot and it just didn't go through,
yeah,
then you got to eat that L. Like and it hurts.
It does.
It's like,
it does.
No, your chemistry is not going to work. Your dick's not going to get hard.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Weird and
Pussy's
awkward.
going to be dry.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be fantastic. You're not going to win her over with your dick game.
And guess who you can't talk to after you realize her pussy's trash?
Her.
You can't tell her like you would tell her about all the other girls.
Yeah.
You have to keep that, and she's going to ask. She's like, you talk to me about every other girl. Why can't you talk about me? I'm telling you, it's a mess. Don't do it.
Yeah. You got to save it. Dating is expensive though, bro.
Bruh.
That shit.
Listen, I'm not going to disclose how much I make in my life. Like, that's enough for one person to be happy and like thrive.
Yeah.
You add another person with their feelings and emotions and the capability to be hungry.
It's a lot of
it's a
fucking
lot.
Money, I get why marriage is a tax write-off.
Yes. All of it makes sense.
You need to get married because you get a fucking tax break.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
for men.
I need a break.
You got to get married. That's it. It's not learning how to spin right.
No, it's not.
It is. The game's different, Mark.
It is.
The games you got out a long time ago.
Yeah, it's vastly different.
It's a different game, bro.
Here's what you need to understand about dating in Los Angeles. You step out of your house on any given day by yourself, it's $100.
Yeah.
Now add another person to that. That's another $100. That's $200 a day. And then you got a bitch that wants to go outside all the time and enjoy sunsets and walks and ice cream and look at dogs. And now I'm just venting, but you understand, it's
pricey.
It gets pricey fast.
I was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to pick up a job. I'm gonna have to pick up some editing gigs or some shit. This shit's stupid.
It is. It's crazy. And they don't get it. Oh, I can help out. No, you can't. No,
your little fucking $20 tip
get the fuck out of here. Yeah,
paying the parking meter
right?
You think you're being helpful? No, that's just
no.
Yeah,
and it feels when they do help, it feels patronizing.
Yeah,
because it's like now you're not enjoying this date the way you should be enjoying it.
Yeah,
because now it's like we're going Dutch.
Yeah, it's
rough.
Yeah, welcome
to the game, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna have to file for bankruptcy soon. But what it did was make me get my shit in order because like I have an LLC that I've been like fucking off with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to organize my funds now. And like
Yeah.
now I'm running an official business
Mm-hmm.
just to keep everything sorted.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It really
okay.
does make you grow up.
It does. And
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I told you this, but what I learned, I don't know if it was from shrooms. Maybe it was from shrooms. You remember in high school, like you leave high school
Mm-hmm.
and then you go back to high school and there's still your group of friends that are still there.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
1.0, right?
Yes.
Then you have a operation was it operating system update, which we
Mm-hmm.
talked about. And then I think deciding to have a partner and then going off into the world, that's the next level of yourself, because like after a while you realize like, oh, I don't belong. Like being out in the streets, you're like, oh, I don't belong out here anymore.
No.
Like it's just like
No.
it's grim.
Yeah.
It's like you start finding like the bottom feeders,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when you get got. It's like you're just walking the streets. The
Yep.
bottom feeders start talking to you, and you're like, you know what? I will go home with you. And you're like, what am I doing? Once you hit that point, it's like that's when you start going back to your old high school,
That.
and you're like, yeah, you know. So like, I have a friend, and I went over to visit him, and he's in a similar situation where he's very intentional with this woman. Now I've
Mm-hmm.
known him through all his hoes and the girlfriends that he's maintained.
Yeah.
This is one person who he is very intentional with. Like he's very specific. But the thing is, he keeps like he'll go, because he's playing it so perfect, he'll have these like benders, if you will, where he'll just go out and party for like 2-3 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's out like, and I'd make fun of him before he got a girlfriend. I'm like, I could call this nigga at any time of the day and he'll pick up.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll call him at 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm out with my friends. And I'm like, why are you doing that? It's like, it's not fun. But now his girlfriend's like, you can't do that anymore. You come home at 2:00. And when I was there, I agreed with her, but I fought on his behalf, because I was like, look, I'm still single, so I'm gonna fight on behalf of men.
Right.
And that's the thing that I need to lose, is like I still don't pick my battles. If there's a battle, I'm fighting. Like I'm fighting to the death over. And I could feel us getting like heated, and Marcus is looking at me. He's like, no, you know, I agree. I need to come in early. And I'm like, no, you don't. This isn't about you, Marcus. This is about the principle of shit. Because it's like, no, you're going to end up putting your, like, I was like, what is the issue? I was like, because I could attest that Marcus isn't doing shit. Like he's literally just
Right.
having a beer and listening to music with like a group of friends.
Yeah.
And then he'll go home when the sun comes up. I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. And she's like, no, I need him home. There's just shit outside that like he doesn't need to be out doing. And I was like,
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Even though deep down I agreed with her. And I think coming home early and just being like, hey, I'm just here.
Yeah.
That's the 3.0. Like
Yeah.
you're out hanging out with your high school friends. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to get in some shit.
Yes.
It may not happen 99% of that time, but that 1% of the time you're gonna end up.
That's crazy. That's absolutely true.
But you gotta grow up.
Yep.
You gotta like, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh shit, like we're doing this. Like I asked my mom, like they had bought their second house, and I was like, how did it feel? And she was like, I was scared. Like me and your dad ran to the car and we're like breathing hard, and we're like, we did it. And I was like, oh, that fear never ends.
Mm-mm.
Now you just have somebody to like
live it with.
Yeah,
Yes.
live it with, and then you're just both going in the direction.
Yeah.
And I think a good relationship is like, it's half love, half business.
Mm-hmm.
You have a CFO now, or COO, or CVO, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like whatever your partner is, it's like you're just going. And I think it's up to like the Marcuses of the world, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
to get in the seat and like play your position, because like if not, you're gonna be the nigga who's 45 in a 1-bedroom apartment.
That
It's
is
like, get with the program.
That was my. I've never feared being alone, but I feared being alone and being rugged.
Yeah.
That I don't want to. If I'm gonna be alone, let me be happy and fruitful. But like to be alone and be like looking at just like watching my friends like live lavish lives and me just like working a job and doing comedy is just like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know? So
like, and I think the reason why we fight it is because women like, and this is why we don't like women. This is the fucking root of it.
Speak on it.
Is women make you do gay shit. Like
Yes.
they just, you're just like, I don't want to take fucking
Bruh.
JCPenney pajama pictures, bruh.
That,
but you got to do it.
Hand holding drives me insane.
Hand holding in the car, just
in the car's fine.
Yeah.
But when you're walking, and it's so funny. This is when I learned like how my sister's very much like me. We were like, I had said this out loud to my mom, and my mom was, something's wrong with you. My sister's like, no, this makes sense. I can't stand to be out walking, and now I got to hold your hand, which is part of your weight and my weight with your weight. And then like I got to speed walk, but then I got to slow down to keep up with you.
Girls walk slow.
They walk so
slow. You ever
slow.
watch Asian couples? Like the man always walks first. I like that because I'm like, girls just be walking slow, bro. Just let me go 10 steps ahead.
It's too much. And then my hand gets sweaty and your hand gets sweaty, but you don't want to let go because you're in love and this is your way of showing me love.
Yeah.
You know how you can show me love? By letting me the fuck go. Yeah. That would mean so much to me.
Wow. See, I like holding hands. With the
outside,
right person.
Outside.
Yeah.
Outside walking.
Yeah.
Nah.
I
couldn't be me, bro.
I was at the store caked up the other day.
I can do it in the store.
No, like the comedy store just caked up in front of everyone. I didn't give a shit.
Nah, I can't do it. I just feel like if some shit pops off, we gotta run, I'm dragging you versus like me placing you someplace and taking care of the situation.
I feel that.
So it's just, I'm a very militant and strategic thinker. Whereas when you have a girl, she's just caught up in this is nice. This is
right.
I'm holding my man's hand. He makes me feel good. Fuck hand holding.
No, because if you think of things strategically, like chess, if you will, this is how I see things. Everyone has to play their position, right? So whatever position you are, you just play the position you are. Kings could only move one square at a time, right?
Right.
So you can move up, down, left, right. Queens could move across the board, so they have more mobility than their king.
Right.
But if the king gets off the board, the game is done. So she has to be mobile. You can't be holding hands. You got to go over there, come back, go over here, come back, make sure I'm good.
Rest my case.
That's it. You know, be the king, kings.
Yeah, I'm growing though.
Yeah. Get with the program, be the king and find your queen and go off into La La Land and have some fucking kids, take the pajama pictures, do the gay shit, fall in love, be in love, maintain your love, operate a business together, buy some houses, buy some property, go on vacation, send your kids off, you know? That's it. It could be that easy.
It could be that easy. We make it much more difficult than it needs to be. And that I think that is the conclusion of it all. Is like we really do make it difficult.
Yeah, just do the gay shit, bro.
Yeah,
it'll make life easier.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's this week's episode of the Gentleman's Weekly. Go out there and find you love.
The right love.
The right love.